You're listening to Ask When, the podcast. Folks from all walks of life talk about their daily hustle and bustle, living and celebrating life, sharing tips on becoming champions, especially for those who are muscling mental and physical disabilities. Ask When, the podcast, with your host, who has mustered over 30 years living with cerebral palsy and going strong. Author and cerebral palsy advocate, Wynn Charles. Ask When, the podcast starts right now.
Welcome to Ask When, everyone. Today, this afternoon, I have David with me. David is I'm going to let David take it away and share his story with you guys. So welcome, David.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time.
And would you please explain to my fan base more about what you do?
Sure. Well, first of all, my name's David Somerfleck, and I'm a digital marketing consultant with about 20 to 25 years experience working for different marketing and advertising agencies throughout the United States. And in between those positions, I would also work as a independent contractor for different companies and business owners. I was also a college professor. And during that time, I was also a certified business mentor for several nonprofit organizations, also working with business owners to help them get traction so that they could see more money coming in more quickly.
So I appreciate you being in the digital marketing space. And so with anonymity purposes, what has been the client success story that you would like to share today?
Well, there's been several. I would say the first one that comes to mind, there's two really that come to mind right away. I've had two very long time clients who've been with me for well over 10 years now, that were basically small business owners and entrepreneurs or service providers, actually in Colorado, because I lived in Colorado for quite some time. And one is a private investigator, and she came to me basically trying to find a way to have a very professional, very serious online presence, but also find a way to kind of reduce her overhead to make working easier. So she's been with me for quite some time now, and to my knowledge, she's the only private investigator in the United States who is taking payments online for different pricing packages for, divorce proceedings, for background investigations, for corporate investigations. So she's able to process payments online for that. She can do video conferencing. She can do secure documentation storage and whatever she wants. And she's seen business increase over time as a result of working with me. And it's been a great pleasure working with her. And another client is an optician. And they're an older husband and wife couple in Colorado as well. And they basically came to me because I would go there for my own glasses. And one day she just said, what is it that you do? I explained it. And she said, well, we've tried to work with other people in the past and things just never worked out. And I said, well, let's have a serious, adult conversation about this outside of my own, getting glasses and getting repair work done on those. And we talked and developed an award-winning modern website that's, number one in Google for opticians in her area, and basically set them up in the same way. So they've been able to directly bid on and win government contracts as a result of the website, because the government doesn't want your business if you don't have a modern, responsive website, if you're not in a position where you can take payments online and your website is secure and everything is done in a very serious, above board manner. They don't want to work with you. They don't need to. They can just go to someone else. So we've been working together for about 5 or 6 years now. And they've seen a slow, gradual, continual uptick in business as well, especially getting some of those VA contracts.
So I have a question.
Sure.
What is your favorite book and what is the title?
Oh, man, I have several, but I would say right now, my favorite book would be The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And the reason for that is because I think it's a very short, easy read, and it's actually pretty deep. It has a lot of meaning to it, beyond just the superficial read for fun.
Yeah.
And so that's why I would say it's probably my favorite book right now. Beyond that, I would have to say number 2 would be Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which is about as deep and as profound as you can get.
And so what is your morning routine?
My morning routine is to get up, have a little bit of caffeine, and of course, say hello to my wife and spend some time talking with her. Of course, then I get online. I take a look at my lists. I work from lists. So I have like a 90-day list of things to do. Then I divide that down into 90-day, 60 days, 30 days, and then weekly. And then I divide that down into daily. So that's how I kind of organize everything into different lists. So I look at what my list is for the day based on the larger plan for that month, or for that week rather. So that's what I do. I sit down and I work from that list. And usually there's around 4 or 5 things per day. And if I get, some days are slower than others and you have to carry things over, or some days you just don't feel good, so you carry over what you don't get done. So that's basically how I work on a daily basis.
So, okay, if you had to move and could only take 5 things with you, your wife included, what would they be?
Well, it would probably be my wife first. Second, after that, it would probably be our pet rabbit, Sean T. Bunny, because she's a living, breathing being. And then after that, how many things did you say? 5?
5.
Okay, so that's 2. I would probably bring my PC, and let's see. After that, I would say my snazzy blue suit and a couple of pairs of glasses.
Well, that's that. And so
Because you can't work if you can't see.
No, you can't work if you can't see. So if your best friend had to write a book about you, what would the title be?
Oh boy. I would hope that it would be Vision. Vision for tomorrow, maybe.
And that's awesome. And as we wrap this interview up, number 1, where can people find you? Number 2, do you have any questions for me?
Sure, I'd love to. People can find me very, very easily by going into Google and just typing dms.blue. D as in digital, M like Mary, S like summer, and blue like the color blue. So just go to Google, type in dms.blue, or in that address bar. My question for you is, who has been your favorite interviewee and why?
Oh boy. You make me pick my favorite child here, David. Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, I would have to say the one that's out now, because I met this person and I got him to share his story, is Lee Silverstein. So when you guys hear David's episode, you'll you'll go back and listen to Lee's. And so yeah, that's my ultimate favorite. And so yeah, that's my ultimate favorite. And so I would like to give a huge shout out to Lee of We Have Cancer.
Okay, sounds good.
And so, David, what would be your closing thoughts on this interview?
I would say my closing thought would be from my area of expertise in digital marketing that I would wish everyone listening that they stay safe and healthy. And, if you're in quarantine right now, trying to stay safe and healthy, to give yourself time, for peace of mind, read a good book, do some yoga, do some stretching, and, use this time as self-reflection and, focus in on reconnecting with people who matter to you the most and why, and kind of, get back to basics if you can. I feel for what a lot of people are going through. And if you're a business owner, I would say look at this situation, if you can, as an opportunity to maybe pivot or change with, what's going on in the world, if that's something you can do.
No, I agree, David. I agree. And I'm actually pivoting my company as we speak because I got laid off my job. My fan base knows that. And they're watching me pivot my company right now. And so I got laid off my job, but I knew it was coming. I knew that my job didn't have a plan, and so I knew it was coming, and I won't be returning to the education space next year. But I am slowly but surely pivoting. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate David's time today, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye, you guys.
You just listened to Ask Win, the podcast. To become a guest in the show, visit our website at askwin.weebly.com or call 816-591-3399. Just look for Danielle. Connect with Win on Twitter at WinKellyCharles and like our Facebook page at Butterflies of Wisdom. You can also purchase Win's book through Amazon.com or get a copy of the audiobook through Audible. Ask Win, the podcast.